Leo, I'm so happy to stand here and tell you just how much I love you and how deeply I've loved you for the past 13 years. Leo is the love of my life. How could you even ask me that? These were the heartfelt words Kate Winslet once shared about her longtime co-star and close friend, Leonardo DiCaprio. While their on-screen chemistry in Titanic has captivated audiences for decades, it's their off-screen connection that has sparked just as much fascination. After years of speculation, Winslet has finally opened up about the unique bond they share, leaving fans wondering whether there was ever more than just friendship between them. So how has their connection evolved over the years? And what's kept them so close, despite the ever-changing tides of Hollywood? Join us as we explore Kate's candid revelations and the untold emotional truth behind her relationship with Leo, a friendship that has endured fame, distance, and time. The dream that made DiCaprio cry. Kate Winslet has had an extraordinary career, but to many, she'll always be remembered as Rose from Titanic. Her on-screen chemistry with DiCaprio as Jack Dawson wasn't just a cinematic illusion, it was the start of a deep and lasting friendship. In an interview with Harper's Bazaar, Winslet recalled a profound moment that took place in 2008 while filming Revolutionary Road with DiCaprio. She had a dream where she gave him a paperweight engraved with the words, "Wherever you go, I will go too." The dream stayed with her, so she told Leo about it. He was so moved he cried, touched by the sentiment. The two decided to turn the dream into something real. They had the phrase engraved on keepsakes for each other and exchanged them at the end of the film shoot, an intimate gesture that symbolized their unbreakable bond. But their connection runs even deeper. Winslet once remarked that she has known DiCaprio longer than her own husband and children. Their friendship has weathered decades of life changes, personal growth, and public scrutiny. However, Winslet also admitted that the massive success of Titanic came with its own challenges. While it launched them into global stardom, the overwhelming fame wasn't always easy to navigate. Kate Winslet has never shied away from honesty, especially when reflecting on the pressures of fame. Rising to stardom at a young age came with intense scrutiny, particularly as a woman. She admitted that early in her career, she often felt she had to look or behave a certain way just to meet others' expectations. That pressure made life difficult today. She admires how much more empowered young women are, more confident, outspoken, and willing to stand up for themselves. But even back then, in an industry that rarely prioritized authenticity, one thing remained constant for her: Leonardo DiCaprio. A bond that defies time. Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio have shared one of Hollywood's most cherished and enduring friendships. It began in 1996 when they met as young co-stars on the set of Titanic. He was 21, he was 22. What started as on-screen chemistry quickly evolved into a deep off-screen bond, one that has lasted over 24 years. In all that time, their connection has never wavered. Even the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic, when global travel restrictions kept them apart for over 3 years, couldn't break it. When they finally reunited in Los Angeles, Winslet was overcome with emotion. "I've known him for half my life," she said through tears. It wasn't just the time apart, it was the realization that their bond had endured despite the years. It's the distance and the inability to share everyday moments like grabbing coffee or catching up over dinner. "We missed each other," she said simply. Winslet describes DiCaprio as a really close friend and insists they're bonded for life. Their friendship was forged during the grueling Titanic shoot process. She has openly said was anything but pleasant. She once joked that Leo got far more days off than she ever did. Yet through those long, cold days and chaotic shoots, they stuck together, creating a connection that would survive fame, distance, and time. Their support for each other has never been for show. When DiCaprio won his long-awaited Oscar in 2016, Kate was one of the first people he embraced. She has often described him as deeply loyal, solid, and someone who lifts up everyone around him. A moment that changed her life, despite constant speculation. Their relationship has always remained platonic. What makes it special is its depth and honesty. One powerful example of that came during their early days filming Titanic. When Winslet was struggling with harsh media scrutiny about her body, Leo noticed her discomfort and offered a quiet but powerful message that stayed with her forever. It's really important that you are the shape that you are. He explained that many women wrongly believe love, success, and beauty are tied to being thin. His words struck a chord with Kate. At a time when body positivity was virtually non-existent and beauty standards were rigid, Leo's support gave her the strength to believe in herself, not just as an actress, but as a woman. That realization became a turning point. Her Oscar nomination for Titanic proved that talent had nothing to do with size. Later becoming a mother strengthened her commitment to protect her daughter from the toxic ideals she had once internalized. Since then, she's become a vocal advocate for body positivity and women's rights, a legacy beyond the screen in recent years. Winslet has taken on the role of a trailblazer in Hollywood, speaking out on issues like gender inequality, body shaming, and ageism. She's challenged outdated norms and pushed for a more inclusive industry. "Do you know how old I am?" she once said. "I'm 47. I did my first film when I was 17, and you'd think I'd have a system for staying true to my beliefs by now." She has. Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio's friendship is a rare Hollywood story. Uncomplicated, genuine, and deeply human. It's a reminder that amid the fame, the pressure, and the spotlight, true connection can still exist, grounded in kindness, mutual respect, and unwavering loyalty. The untold truth behind Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio's bond. Kate Winslet has never been one to hide behind Hollywood glamour. At one point, she even asked a cosmetics company not to airbrush her photos, an act of defiance against unrealistic beauty standards. And through all the personal and professional ups and downs, Leonardo DiCaprio has remained a steady and loyal presence in her life. In fact, Leo's support goes far beyond friendship. He played a special role at one of the most important moments in Kate's life, walking her down the aisle at her third private wedding. Their relationship, rooted in trust, loyalty, and mutual respect, continues to shine brightly every time they walk a red carpet together. It's clear these two aren't just co-stars from Titanic. They are lifelong friends, but their story is full of lesser-known moments and behind-the-scenes details that make their connection all the more fascinating. Behind the bow, the truth about that Titanic kiss. One of the most iconic moments in film history is the Bova ship kiss between Jack and Rose in Titanic. For fans, it's pure cinematic magic. But according to Kate Winslet, filming that moment was anything but romantic. In an interview with Vanity Fair, Kate revealed that the scene was actually quite awkward. "Every young girl in the world wanted to be kissed by Leonardo DiCaprio," she said, "but it was not all it's cracked up to be. Why? For starters, both of their makeup would melt and smudge during the kissing scenes. Crew couldn't easily reach them between takes. Kate ended up doing touch-ups on both herself and Leo," she joked. "I would end up looking as though I had been sucking a caramel chocolate bar." Add to that the painfully tight corset she was wearing, which made breathing a challenge, and Leo constantly cracking up between takes, and the whole moment became far less dreamy than it appeared on screen. Still, Kate acknowledged Leo's charm and understood why so many people fantasized about kissing him. But for her, it was just another day at work. Off-screen life, family, motherhood, and real emotions off-screen. Kate's life has been just as full as her career. She's been married to Edward Abel Smith since 2012, and the two share a son, Bear Blaze. Born in 2013, she also has two older children, Mia Threppleton, from her first marriage, and Joe Mendez from her second. In recent years, she even shared the screen with Mia in the acclaimed drama, I Am Ruth. The experience was deeply personal. Kate explained how natural it felt to act alongside her daughter, who, like her brother Joe, had grown up helping her rehearse lines since they could read. "Luckily, they're good," Kate laughed, though she admitted her kids have seen her in some of her most vulnerable moments, especially when battling pre-filming jitters. I Am Ruth tackled a heavy but timely issue: the emotional impact of social media on young people. In the film, Kate played a mother watching her teenage daughter spiral into depression due to online pressures. The role struck close to home. Motherhood can sometimes feel incredibly isolating, she shared. She and Mia both feel passionately about the dangers of social media, making the story even more personal for them. Real friendships, real stories. So, here's the big question. Do behind-the-scenes truths ruin the magic of movies or make us appreciate them more? In the case of Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio, knowing the reality only deepens our admiration. From awkward kisses to engraved keepsakes, private tears to red carpet laughter, their friendship reminds us that real connection can exist in the spotlight. And while Leo's own romantic history continues to make headlines, it's his friendship with Kate that has stood the test of time. Through fame, family, heartbreak, and joy, they've remained each other's constant. And in a town like Hollywood, it might just be the greatest love story of all. Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet. A tale of two very different love lives. Leonardo DiCaprio's dating history has become almost as famous as his film career. Over the years, the Oscar-winning actor has been linked to an extensive list of women, mostly models and actresses, many notably younger than him. His romantic preferences have sparked public fascination and frequent discussion, turning his love life into a near pop culture phenomenon. From his teenage years to his late 40s, DiCaprio has reportedly dated more than 20 women. Back in 1994, he was briefly connected to model Bridget Hall, although rumors suggest their encounter was, in her words, disappointing. In the late 90s, just before his breakthrough with Titanic, he dated model Kristen Zhang, then 22. She later recalled their time together as simple and sweet. It's filled with visits to amusement parks and museums, a far cry from the glamorous whirlwind many would expect. In 1998, DiCaprio reportedly pursued model Amber Valletta after seeing her in a magazine, reinforcing his reputation for unconventional approaches to romance. More recently, he ended a nearly 4-year relationship with Camila Morrone in August 2022 and was briefly linked to model Gigi Hadid, one of the few women he's dated closer to his own age. Despite these many relationships, most of DiCaprio's romances seem fleeting, fueling his image as a perennial bachelor reluctant to settle down. Kate Winslet, a life anchored in stability, in stark contrast to DiCaprio's revolving door of relationships. Kate Winslet has maintained a far more grounded personal life, currently married to Edward Abel Smith. She leads a family-oriented lifestyle far removed from the glitzy dating scene that often defines Hollywood. Winslet has been widely praised for her ability to keep her private life out of the spotlight. Her approach to relationships has been consistently down-to-earth, steering clear of the media frenzy that frequently surrounds her longtime friend. And through it all, friendship between Winslet and DiCaprio's parked on the set of Titanic has endured. Unlike Leo's romantic entanglements, the relationship has always remained purely platonic. Why their relationship was never romantic? So why, after such incredible chemistry on screen and years of close connection, did they never become more than friends? Winslet has explained in interviews that their bond was never rooted in attraction. It was built on mutual respect, trust, and a shared sense of humor. DiCaprio has echoed those sentiments, calling their friendship something pure and unaffected by Hollywood's typical expectations. In a rare interview with The Mirror, Winslet described their relationship as a true brother-sister connection. That emotional foundation gave their bond longevity and helped them navigate fame without complicating things with romance. After Titanic, the two actively sought another project to collaborate on, which eventually became Revolutionary Road, a 1950s set drama about a suburban couple whose marriage is falling apart. The film, directed by Winslet's then-husband Sam Mendes, marked a major reunion on screen, but filming it came with one very awkward challenge. Romantic scenes. Directed by her husband, in Revolutionary Road, Winslet and DiCaprio had to portray a failing, emotionally intense marriage, complete with romantic and intimate scenes. What made it even more surreal? Winslet's real-life husband was the one directing it all. She later admitted how strange it felt to act out love scenes with her close friend, all while her husband observed and critiqued every moment. It was undeniably weird, she said candidly. Still, the film earned her a Golden Globe in 2009, and she gave credit where it was due. My husband, Sam. Thank you for directing this film, babe. And thank you for killing us every single day. Although Winslet and Mendes eventually divorced in 2010, they parted on amicable terms. Two paths, one enduring bond given their chemistry and closeness. Some fans still wonder what if. But the truth is, their timing and personal values never aligned romantically. Winslet has said their friendship worked because there was no romance. They met at a point in their lives when neither was seeking a relationship, allowing them to connect on a deeper, lasting level. DiCaprio's tendency to date significantly younger women further underscores the difference in how their personal lives evolved. Yet through it all, one thing has remained constant: their friendship. They've leaned on each other through life's highs and lows, privately and publicly. They've celebrated each other's successes, supported one another through heartbreaks, and remained each other's biggest cheerleaders. Winslet has called Leo a loyal and solid friend, and DiCaprio has said their bond is one of the most important relationships in his life. No romance, just real connection, in an industry where relationships are often fleeting and complicated. The friendship between Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio is a refreshing rarity. It's a testament to the kind of connection that doesn't need romance to be powerful. Some relationships aren't meant to be love stories. Some are meant to last longer, and in the case of Kate and Leo, maybe that's the most beautiful story of all. Beyond the Titanic, Kate Winslet's real-life impact, legacy of Titanic and the glitz of Hollywood, might be the first things that come to mind when we think of stars like Kate Winslet. But for Winslet, fame is far more than red carpets and silver screens. She has used her platform to make a meaningful difference in the real world. Her impact extends well beyond the entertainment industry, reaching into the lives of vulnerable families with both financial aid and genuine compassion. 2. Powerful stories show just how deeply Winslet's generosity has touched lives in Scotland. Carolyn Hunter, a mother, caring for her 12-year-old daughter Freya, who has severe cerebral palsy, faced an overwhelming crisis. Freya depends on life support equipment to survive. The cost of running it had pushed the family's energy bills to a staggering £6,500 a year. Their home's poor energy efficiency only worsened the burden. Despite working full-time, Caroline found herself in a financial and emotional storm, unable to heat most rooms in their home as winter approached. Then, unexpectedly, a £17,000 donation arrived from Kate Winslet herself. After hearing their story on a BBC report, the actress stepped in to help. Caroline described the moment she learned of Winslet's support as unreal, saying it moved her to tears. More than just financial relief, the donation was a lifeline, a powerful gesture of empathy from someone who could have easily looked away. Sadly, Caroline and Freya's struggle isn't unique. Across the UK, many families face rising energy costs. But Winslet's act of kindness stands as a beacon of hope in a time of hardship, and this wasn't a one-time act. In another heartfelt gesture, Winslet supported 11-year-old Lily Ray from Nottingham. Lily dreams of exploring the world before she completely loses her vision to Stargardt disease, a rare genetic condition causing progressive loss of central vision. Mother Emma had launched a small fundraiser with a goal of £2,500 to help create those lasting memories. Winslet not only donated £5,000, doubling the goal, but also sent a personal message encouraging the family to make magical memories together. Lily, who began losing her vision at just 5 years old, now relies on Braille and reads with a font size of 64. Her dreams include seeing the Northern Lights, viewing Paris from the Eiffel Tower, and going on safari in Africa, experiences she may not have time to enjoy without help. Kate Winslet's quiet generosity reminds us that real heroism often happens far from the spotlight. Behind her fame lies a woman using her influence to change lives, not with grand gestures, but with heartfelt action, turning dreams into reality. As Lily Ray's vision continues to deteriorate, Winslet's donation has turned distant dreams into real possibilities, offering Lily and her mother the chance to create precious, lasting memories while they still can. But these aren't isolated moments of generosity. Kate Winslet has long championed vulnerable families, serving as a patron of the Family Haven, a charity in Gloucestershire that supports disadvantaged parents and children. Her work is a reminder that empathy, when paired with action, has the power to transform lives. Even in the face of overwhelming challenges, one person can make an extraordinary difference. Leonardo DiCaprio. Activism beyond the screen. Kate Winslet isn't the only Titanic star making waves beyond Hollywood. Leonardo DiCaprio has carved a unique path as a passionate and consistent advocate for the environment, standing apart from celebrities who merely write checks or lend their names to causes, while many stars support environmental efforts without making significant changes to their lifestyles. DiCaprio has gone further, integrating climate advocacy to nearly every facet of his public and private life. His commitment took center stage during his 2016 Oscar acceptance speech, where he famously declared, "Climate change is real, it is happening right now. It is the most urgent threat facing our entire species." But his dedication began much earlier. At just 24 years old, DiCaprio founded the Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation, LDF, in 1998. Since then, the foundation has raised nearly $100 million and supported over 200 environmental projects across 50 countries. Its work spans a broad range from ocean conservation and renewable energy to indigenous rights and wildlife protection. Despite these efforts, DiCaprio's activism has not been without criticism. Some skeptics question the transparency of his foundation, pointing out its limited public financial disclosures. Others scrutinize his personal carbon footprint, citing the occasional use of private jets and luxury yachts. Still, DiCaprio continues to amplify environmental issues with unwavering urgency, using his platform to influence global conversations, fund scientific initiatives, and push for policy changes. However, some critics remain skeptical about DiCaprio's environmental efforts. Questions have been raised about how transparently his foundation uses donations. As the Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation hasn't publicly shared detailed financial reports, this lack of transparency has left some people doubtful about the true impact of his charitable work. Another common criticism targets what some call eco-hypocrisy. DiCaprio is known to use private jets and yachts, luxuries that aren't exactly environmentally friendly. Despite these contradictions, he has made significant efforts to raise awareness about environmental issues. For example, he co-produced Cowspiracy in 2014, a documentary that exposed the massive environmental footprint of animal agriculture and ignited widespread discussion about its role in climate change. DiCaprio's involvement in plant-based initiatives also suggests a personal commitment to a more sustainable lifestyle. While he hasn't publicly confirmed being vegan, his partnerships with vegan brands like Beyond Meat and Califia Farms, along with stories from acquaintances like musician Moby, hint that he may have adopted a vegan or largely plant-based diet. If true, this shift would strengthen the credibility of his advocacy and show a willingness to lead by example. In recent years, DiCaprio has tried to address some of the criticisms about his lifestyle. For instance, he chose to fly commercially to the COP26 climate summit in Glasgow, a move many saw as a response to backlash over his use of private jets. Whether this was a genuine effort to reduce his carbon footprint or a public relations gesture remains unclear. But it highlights the delicate balance celebrities must strike between activism and the privileges that come with fame. Can someone truly fight for the planet while enjoying the excesses of celebrity life? In DiCaprio's case, the answer is as complex and nuanced as the man himself. What do you think, Wood? Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio have made a great couple if they'd been in a relationship. Share your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. And be sure to click on the next video on your screen, you're going to love it.